welcome back to C Morning Show. So in this first talk show of the day of this Saturday,
Yes.
November 2nd, second day of November.
That's right.
Rahma and I want to discuss a very relevant to us. The topic that's very relevant to us as parents. I'm sure you have years of more experience than me. You're ahead of me. I believe it resonates with all parents out there.
Of course, no, absolutely true, Yasha. Now, as we all know, our children spend most of their time at school, and conflicts are often unavoidable in that environment. Yes, at school. Now, so how can we as parents manage these conflicts and also foster a healthy bond among children, parents, and also the school itself? That is a big question. So we are going to explore this very topic with educational psychologist Orissa Anggita Rinjani from Rumah Dandelion. Good morning, and also thank you for being here.
Thank you very much. Yes, Orissa. Thank you, Rahma and Yasha, for having me today.
We're happy to have a
We are super
psychologist
happy.
here.
we can learn so much. I can learn so much.
Yes, yes.
Hopefully, we can share some
Yes.
ideas.
Okay, so do you want to jump into the
Yeah,
first question,
sure,
right?
Sure. So children spend so much time at school,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So how can we create a healthy bond between the children, the parents, and the school?
Okay. First of all, we have to maintain open communications between parents and school, right? So from the teachers through email, through maybe WhatsApp group, to when we drive off our kids or when we pick up, we can casually talk about our kid. And second, we need the parent involvement in school activities. Right, so sometimes the school have activities. When we involve as parents, then we can create familiarity and connection with the teachers and the school staff, and also talk positively with your child about the school, because child can pick up parental attitude when we talk about school, right? Yes. We talk in the trusted tone positively or not. Children can pick up that sense and the values from the parents.
I see. So you're saying that if the parents have something not so positive to say, or they have some kind of tone towards this school is not so great, the children pick it up.
Yes.
Okay, and it will affect also their behavior at school.
The motivations, their behavior, their emotion toward the school.
So everything,
Greatly
right? Okay.
influenced.
As we all know, children are like sponge.
Yeah.
Yasha, they absorb negativity, positivity at some point, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so still regarding that one, when conflicts actually arises at school itself, even though we know the kids are doing the schooling, but sometimes the parents are triggered, right? The parents are sometimes, in a conflict, they're burning up. So what is the response, or the correct attitude for the parents whose children are involved in a conflict? They're involved in a conflict, but we're burned.
Yeah. First of all, every parent that send the child to the schools, we need to keep perspective that conflict is inevitable, right? At some extent, it should happen, because when it happens, then the kids can learn to navigate social challenges, can pick up the social resolution of a conflict. So conflict at some extent needs to happen.
Right.
When it happens, we need, firstly, as adults, we need to more calm and try to regulate ourselves first. And then we need to try gather information, not only from our child, but also from the others, before we form an opinion or take an action. So we can know what is the proportionate action for this conflict, right? Because sometimes our children can exaggerate that, or maybe eliminate some information intentionally or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes they believe this is what happened.
Yes.
But sometimes when we try to gather more detail, what happened, what are the other students see, what students see, or sometimes from the CCTV, we can create more holistic perspective on that one. We need to keep open mind on that one.
In a way, I guess technology really plays a huge role these days, right? Because I think there's evidence, there's just different opinions that can be gathered.
Right.
You know, I mean,
Oh,
as opposed to, you know, like he says, she says kind of thing, right?
But don't get me wrong, Yasha. It's not common in every school.
Yeah.
They provide the CCTVs, right? Not in the classroom, maybe in the corridors, where hallways maybe, but you know,
Yeah, but
sometimes.
some schools have the resources level is very different, right?
Yes.
But the most important thing first, as parents, and when you already choose a school, trust the school that the school will have the process how to deal with conflict.
Okay, I
guess
do
that's
believe.
the trust is very mutual, very important, because especially when your children, sometimes you see your children as the victims. So sometimes you say, do schools really take action to the other students that hurt
right?
my kid, right?
Yeah.
But
I want justice.
Yeah.
Justice for my kid.
or I want that kid to be punished or expelled from the school or
Expelled.
sometimes.
Bad apple. Right? No,
We
right.
need, but that's happened.
Right.
That's happened.
Yeah.
So we need to have that trust. But we as school management or the school, sometimes we will not disclose that kind of information to parents.
Yeah.
The other kid is like this because his family or her family is like this, but we already process, we refer him to the counseling or therapy. We will not disclose that kind of information to other parents. That it's the family privacy.
Yes.
But as parents, we need to, trust the school that its actions is immediately taken when
Right.
something like that happened.
Okay. Now, regarding to that, okay. So you said that conflicts are inevitable, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
inevitable.
Okay. So let's talk about problems in schools,
Yeah.
right? As we all know, Yasha, people are talking about, no bullying in the school. It's safe to make a healthy and also a fun environment
Yeah.
for the children to
Yeah.
study. Now, there's like, in my point of view, correct
Yeah.
me if I'm wrong, okay? In my point of view, there are levels of bullying itself, right? So it can be a verbal bullying,
Yeah.
bullying,
Yeah.
okay? Physical
Yeah.
bullying, and also cyber bullying
Yeah.
itself,
Yeah.
right? So what's your opinion in this one? Because sometimes we do understand that children may act very nice, very appropriate in the school,
Yeah.
but when they do have, gathered in the
Yeah.
WhatsApp group, maybe they talk something. Sometimes they tend to talk about one person, which is inside the group.
Yeah.
And if they make a mistake, if that person maybe made a mistake, they will actually just
keep it on coming.
I know, fire
Yeah.
this kid. Now,
Yeah,
in
yeah.
my point of view, that's one part of cyber bullying.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So, what's your intake?
Okay. First of all, we need to differentiate first between conflict and bullying.
Right.
Because that's two different things. Conflict, and when the two sides that involve in conflict is actually have the same amount of power.
Yeah.
But in bullying, one is dominant and the others is more prone to bullying and certain characteristics, right? But we can empower our kids to actually, when you need to be happen, when you're feeling not comfortable and you feel this is already way off line, you have the safe place to talk to the parents or the trusted adults. You can say that. But sometimes children and teenagers, sometimes they're already more private, right? And they don't to immediately open up or tell, because they sometimes, if I tell, my friends will get troubles, and they are conflicted about that, because in teenagers especially, peer pressures is very lot and takes a deal alert with that.
Right.
So as parents, sometimes we just can say that if you already need help, I'm here for you. Do you think you already in part that you need to step up to help you, or do you want to learn to deal with it? So if you feel, and then we observe as parents, is he stressing out? Is he stressing out? Is there any changes in behavior? If you think it's already very, already take a lot of behavior, more emotionally stressed out or physically hurt, then we need to step up and we can continue to the school, and we can ask about what can the schools happen.
So
maybe
the bell
the
is when we see as parents.
Yeah.
When we see changes.
Changes in behavior, in emotional and physical because that's the way that it's already taking the this conflict maybe is already too difficult for our kid to handle. But if they still happen to have the confidence level on it, and they try, maybe sometimes like, okay, my friends say this to me, but I don't think it matters. We know that their opinion doesn't matter, and it doesn't affect him or her. That's okay. We can trust our kids too, that they know when they need help. So as parents, we just say, when you feel like you need help, I'm here for you, and you can talk to me, and I will be on your side, helping you to talk to the school and your friends if it's necessary.
Here, here.
All right. Okay. So conflicts also often appear to pit parents against schools when it should be, right? Ideally, it should be parents, children, and the school working together. I mean, that sounds very
ideal.
Very ideal, right?
Yes.
But usually parents would say, but I pay this amount of tuition, there's uang pangkal, right? And there's this fee, this money, this, that, right?
Yes.
I
And
expect you to do all the work, please.
right. So how does that work, right?
Okay. We're not living in the ideal world, but we can try to make it happen, right? So we can set a collaborative tone from the start. So sometimes we can say, like in the orientation in the new, every new of the schools, in July, right? When the school starts, we can just like, we will never guarantee that conflict will not happen, but we guarantee when it happens, we can always maintain communications, and you can talk directly to us. And it's better to like confirmation to the school. Just go on, rather than you rely information to the other parties, and then from parents and parents and parents, and like, you don't clarify to the parties that involves. That's very, very important. And second one, we need, again, as parents, to see that the school is not only for your child. The school is a community, right? And we not only addressing the need of your child, but we try to maintain balance all of the child involved, right? And learning is so much a broader concept. Some kids learning how to do maybe writing and reading. Some kids are learning how to maybe to speak up more confidently, or to not to be really anxious when it comes to go to school. Some kids are learning to boundaries, to learn to control himself. Sometimes he wants to play, but after that, the tensions escalates, okay? They start to very giggly, and then one push or another, and it's the way, it's not really intentionally to hurt others, but sometimes when, again, we need to be more proportionate. What's happened? Is it recurring issues or just one times happen, right? It's real different, so we need to set a collaborative tone from the start. And again, when you already pick up the schools, you need to try to understand the school. And the school itself have to also prove that they are accountable too, and they're responsible. So it's just school like, okay, the conflict is not, okay, it's not my responsibility, so maybe your parents can talk to each other. Not like that too, right? So maybe the schools need to, if you need to facilitate, if you want to mediation, then school will facilitate and mediate that.
I love it so much, Marisa. Are you under a, are you working in a specific, working together with a specific school maybe?
I am the owner of one school,
Right.
actually, so I'm a psychologist. I'm also the school management, and I'm also a parent that, so I've been in the position of the psychologist, the neutral party, and the school management, and also the point of view of parents that my kid has been as the one who have experienced the not very good action from her friends, but also as parents of the kids who did something not too good to your friends too. So
You experience all.
I've experienced all.
Right.
So that's why we need to try to to broaden perspective, so we can see from the other, what is the other party involved.
Okay.
That's very interesting, right?
Okay.
Because sometimes, as Marisa said, if we do have conflict, it's even though we know it's between the children, sometimes the children tells the parents, and then your father figure comes out, maybe, or mother figures comes out, and it's like, we want to try to protect our baby, right? But sometimes, we need to understand or separate the boundaries, right?
And sometimes the kids already play together again, but
Yes.
the parents who made it escalate. So I don't want to see you play with him or her anymore. But actually the kids is already fine,
Yes.
and it doesn't need to be escalate that more. So we have to see, okay, when our kid is the victim, let's say, become the victim, what we should do, right? We can first listen and validate his or her feelings, of course. And after that, we need to try to understand, okay, maybe we cannot control your friend's behavior, but we can try to do something. So what will happen? Empower her or him rather than overprotect. So like when something like that happen again, what can you do? When you feel like your friend's already too physical, you can say, stop, I don't want it anymore. I don't like it.
Right.
So you can step up, you can walk away
Right.
from that situation rather than just, or you can call the teachers and some things. And you can also help your teachers see the other side, like maybe your friend doesn't learn yet how to control his impulse. So maybe you can try to help him or help her. And the other way around, so when your children that do something bad to her friend, you can try to learn, teach him or her about accountability.
Yes.
You can, it's mistakes happens, that happens, so what can you do about it? You can try to apologize, and what can you do? For example, you broke someone else's toys, so then maybe we have to replace it, right? We need to replace it. Or sometimes when you verbally, sometimes it cannot be replaced, but if your heart is hurt, right? So you can ask your friend, okay, that my mistakes, I say something that's not supposed to be there. How can I help you to feel better? That's we need to teach our kids. Otherwise, they will like, okay, just say sorry and then just go. Or like, you're making mistake. Okay, my parents will help me, right? There's a lot of things that we see nowadays, right? When the kids make mistakes and the parents just come and rescue, the kids doesn't learn the consequences of their action, and it could goes until their adulthood, and we don't want to happen.
And you always have to kind of hope that parents will be cooperative,
Of course,
and putting the same amount of attention and care to resolving each conflict, not just reactive at certain points and make things worse.
Yeah,
right.
Don't want that.
Again, mistakes can happen, and we need to acknowledge that the parents, the kid, and also the school.
Yeah.
It always a room for mistakes, but what's most important that we can step up and we can take accountability and we try to make it right.
Yeah. Right. The interesting thing is that children can still learn.
Yes.
A lot of parents cannot. Right?
Oh.
Right, that's how it is.
I was about to say, Yasha, that is top notch. True at the same time, but again, if we want the kids to learn, of course, we need to learn as well.
Given as a model how to handle the conflict itself and regulate our emotions.
But that's just you. Us.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so the bottom line is, again, we have to be able to separate. Right? And then if something happens between the children and also the school, parents go to the school directly, let the school handle first. Gain evidence, or build, not build, you just get evidence. If there's needs from the school to contact the other person, we as parents need to step aside. Let them do their things first.
Do your thing.
All
right.
Great summary.
All right. Thank you so much for all the insights. We learned definitely. I learned a lot today.
Yes, we did.
You know,
We did.
Yeah. Tony.
Thank you so very
Thank
much,
you so
Marissa.
much. Thank you.
Okay, so it is so fun talking about us being, with our role as a parent, right? In this beautiful, beautiful society of schooling. So we are going to have more news coming up, but we need to have another short break. So when we return, we'll still have more information just for you. So keep it here only on the C Morning Show right here on C Today.
Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.